LinkedIn is great at connecting you with the world's largest professional network. But it can't connect you with motivation on a Monday morning. LinkedIn can help you get insights from your professional community. But it can't give you any insight into why Dave's still talking on mute. And while it can't stop your boss from bringing tuna for lunch, LinkedIn can help bring your career to the next level. LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com to learn more.
Refreshing wild cherry cola meets smooth cream. The treat you deserve. Pepsi Wild Cherry and Cream. Treat yourself.
It's the show that celebrates WWE. It's Gorilla Position.
Hello, you, and welcome to Gorilla Position. Thank you very much for hitting the download button on this, your pro wrestling / sports entertainment podcast of pleasure. My name is James D. Lowe, your host and your guide through the wonderful world of WWE. Are you obsessed with our theme tune like I am? I just think it's epic. I really, really love it. Here we go. Welcome to episode 305 of GP. It is Monday morning. Monday the what? What's the date today? It is Monday the 26th of February, and we're here to break down all the action from Elimination Chamber from Perth, Australia. An attendance record, obviously, as is the way with all WWE PLEs at the moment. 52,590 fans in the Optus Stadium over in Perth. But was it a good show? What did you think? Did you like it? Let us know at WWE GP across social media. And a very quick thank you to our headline sponsors for GP, WWE 2K24. The brand new iteration of the WWE 2K series is out from the 5th of March. The 40-year WrestleMania edition and the deluxe edition out 5th of March. And then 3 days later, on the 8th of March, the standard edition with Mr. Cody Rhodes on the cover. Cody Rhodes, who challenged The Rock. Can you believe it? There you go. There's the end of the theme tune. Anyway, so thank you to 2K, the brilliant new game. Cannot wait to get proper hands-on gameplay time with that. We're going to do that very, very soon. Anyway, with me now in the GP studio here in central London, he is former Strictly Come Dancing champion, WWE lifer, star of TV. Movies? Have you done a movie?
I've done a movie, not yet. No.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Kind of ruined my intro.
Oh.
Anyway, Kevin Clifton, how are you, Kevs?
I'm good, yeah. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. Yeah. I'm all right. You are dressed ever so smart today.
Yes, I've got an audition after this for a musical.
And you're down to the final two.
Well, I don't know exactly how many, but it's the final audition, yeah.
Let's say it's the final two.
Yeah, all right.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
It's like the final two of the Elimination Chamber. Like, what's it going to be?
I would love if that's how they did West End auditions.
Yeah.
Every 5 minutes, the lights get, the drum, dun, 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 and then the lights go, and then someone else, another auditionee is released from the pod.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
And we just fight it out.
Brilliant. So we're talking Elimination Chamber.
Yeah.
It happened on, very early Saturday morning UK time.
Yes.
I think the show started at 10 a.m., which is so weird to have a PLE at that time.
I know. I was all up for it. I thought this is going to be brilliant. I'll get like pancakes in. It'll be like a breakfast watching Elimination Chamber. But that meant that I'd have to sort of watch SmackDown live during the night and then watch that. And it was I'm older now. I can't cope with that anymore.
You're an old boy.
I fell asleep watching the first bit of SmackDown. So I had to watch SmackDown the next day and then catch up with Elimination Chamber.
Okay. But you're all caught up now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I planned, because in the build-up, it was like 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning watching a premium live event. That is absolutely ideal.
Yeah.
But as it turns out, I couldn't watch it live. So to be completely transparent, I've only finished it this morning.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had to watch it in 2 halves, which is not ideal. And I don't know if that has taken away some of the excitement. You know, when you watch it live, you really get into it. But watching it on catch-up isn't as exciting.
It's like when you watch a movie and you're a bit tired and then you watch the first bit and then you fall asleep and then pick it up again. It's like you lose momentum with it.
It's a bit like that.
Yeah.
It's a bit like that. But I'll try not to let that feed into my thoughts on the show. One thing I wanted to talk about, the production. This is something we haven't mentioned on the show before now, but I love the talents arriving with the little time check graphic in the corner, arriving to the arena. It makes it feel very UFC, very sport. Yeah. Just very real. I love the way they're sort of presenting the talents as they're arriving in the venues now. Yeah,
it makes it feel very real. That's the thing. It's like it like builds that anticipation of like them arriving for their big fight at the arena. Like, I love that.
It's really good. So the show kicks off with the women's Elimination Chamber match. So in the match, we have Naomi, we've got Becky, we've got Raquel Rodriguez.
You're leaving it till last, aren't
you? We've got Liv Morgan. We've got, I haven't got this written down in front of me. Who else is in it? Tiffany Stratton. And Bianca Belair.
Bianca, yeah.
What did you think of this match? So it kicked off with some slightly awkward mat wrestling, I would say, between Becky and Naomi.
Oh, it's funny you say that, actually.
Go on.
Yeah, because... You know, I've mentioned my mate Kieran, who I've now got into wrestling again.
Who messaged me the other day, by the way.
Did he?
Well, on Instagram.
What was he saying?
Oh, I don't know. I blocked
Can I have your number?
I blocked him.
Can I be on the pod?
I think he just commented on one of the posts.
Oh, right.
But yeah, he's super into it now.
Yeah, loves it. So he was watching it live, and he didn't know that I wasn't there yet. I was catching up on SmackDown that morning. And he went, started off a bit, the wrestling's a bit sloppy at the beginning here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's interesting that you bring that up. Yeah.
So there was a really nice split leg drop from Naomi onto Becky from the side of the chamber onto the outside. I thought that was a really nice move. But just generally, and it's tough. They're kicking off the pay-per-view. You know, to start with a load of mat wrestling in a big sort of epic environment inside the chamber, you can almost tell they're itching to get to the big stuff.
Yeah.
But yes, I found it, I don't want to use the word sloppy, but it wasn't the greatest, but I thought that was the split leg drop was really nice. We want Tiffy.
Yeah.
She is over Down Under.
Yeah. I mean,
hugely so.
I haven't seen a lot of her because I haven't watched NXT in quite a while. So I'm sort of aware of her. I've like seen her before, but it's not like I know everything about her. So she's sort of a bit new to me. And here's another interesting. I'm just basically all my stories are like I'm trying to get all my mates who are not wrestling fans into wrestling. So my mate Dougie was staying over for the weekend, and I was like, we're going to watch Elimination Chamber. And he was like, oh, not you and your wrestling again. Here we go. Da, da. So anyway, he's not into it. But like Kieran was sort of showing interest. And like, go on, tell me about it and why this and why that. Dougie is sort of anti-wrestling. It's all fake. It's all stupid. It's all da-da-da-da.
Dougie's dead to me.
Right. Yeah. So he sat down to watch it. And I was telling him stuff about it and whatever. And he went, go on then, like, let's have a look. And then I said to him, out of interest, as you're watching this match, who looks good to you? Who do you rate? Who don't you? Just from a complete outsider's point of view, who do you think's going to win this match? And he went, well, based on everything you've told me and just based on me watching it, I think that Tiffany's going to win.
Okay.
And I said, what makes you think that? And he went, well, just seems like she's the star of it, isn't she?
Oh,
and I was like, that is a really interesting comment. I was like, she's the rookie. She's a newcomer.
That is, yeah. And this is her first dance, basically. Firstly, I mean, state of you having a friend over and making them sit through a 3-hour pay-per-view.
Always.
I mean, it's just...
If you come over my house, you're watching wrestling.
What a terrible friend you are. Yeah, Stratton got a really nice big pop and looked so good out there. You know, we were talking about the slightly lackluster in-ring stuff with Naomi and Becky to begin the match. She brought some much-needed energy to proceedings. Great power, great timing, super smooth in there. I think she looks great. She had that program with Becky Lynch when Becky Lynch was NXT champion.
Right.
They had the match on the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and that was really good, and that, I think, really helped elevate Tiffany to the next level. So Becky's, I would say, partly responsible for her current success.
Yeah.
But she looked really good, and there were some lovely sequences with the three of them. A Livimation chamber, Liv Morgan. She came out next, and she was looking really strong. Tiffany then eliminated Naomi after Naomi hit Liv with a slightly skew whiff sunset flip off the top of the pod. But going back to Tiff, what I noticed is she really takes things full on. Nice and snug. She's hard hitting in there. She takes the power moves, she delivers the power moves, and when she does it, you really feel it.
Liv, we're talking about.
No, Tiffany.
Oh, Tiffany.
Just going back to Tiffany.
Right, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I thought she was fantastic. It was
huge upside to Tiffany.
It was her energy for me.
Yep.
Like you said, as soon as she came in, there was more energy about the match. It wasn't like, let me show you how to do these moves, or I'm going to do something interesting. It was just, she looked like she wanted to be in there. She looked like she wanted to make an impact. She looked like she wanted to fight in there. And yeah, it was just energetic, which I really loved about it. And like I said, I didn't know that much about her before. Now she's like fully on my radar, and she's technically a heel, is she?
Yeah.
But I mean, she's over. Like, she's going to be babyface very soon.
She's really over. There's a huge upside to her. Let's hope this enthusiasm from the Australian fans kind of sweeps back to the US and the momentum carries on, because I think she's brilliant. Raquel Rodriguez is number 5 in the chamber. Again, big upside to her. I'm a big fan, but as Mech said, I can't remember if he said it on the podcast or just before we started recording, but he said her character is her back.
Yeah.
Which is sort of true. Yeah. She needs something else.
You know what it is for me? I feel like, I think we might have been talking about this off air with some of the women. Like, I feel like some of them come in and it's like they want to be they're supposed to be the baby face, so they want to show a like friendly side of them. They want to look like a nice person within the ring. And I feel with some of the women, it's like they come in and they have a big smile and they look really happy to be there. And for some reason, it always annoys me, because I'm like, you don't have to be just smiley and sentimental about the night. And we'll come to Rhea in a bit, but like Rhea is the reason. I've got a theory on why Rhea is such a star as well. Like, you don't have to be sort of friendly and over sentimental and show us the sort of behind the curtain like excitedness. Like I was saying about Naomi, obviously she's been away for a while. Everyone loves Naomi. No one's got a bad word to say about her, but she's been away for a while. She comes back, and all we saw in the ring was this like sort of overwhelmed emotion of, I can't believe I'm back. I'm just back here, back home, and I feel like I want to cry because I'm back in the WWE, and isn't it lovely? And I just think, but you've got to remember that in the storyline world, we know you've been away for a while, backstage and coming back, but the reason you're there right now in the kayfabe world of WWE is you're there to fight. And when you're in there giving me a little smile, it feels like you're just in there to put on a little show, and I shouldn't take you that seriously as a fighter. And I feel like Raquel Rodriguez has got this great look. She looks like, she should be able to kill the others, but she comes in and smiles. Great back. She comes in and gives me a nice smile. Look what a nice person I am. And I suddenly think, I don't know if I should take you seriously against some of them that look like they do want to fight. And that's what I mean. Tiffany Stratton came in and it was like bang, bang, bang. And I know she's a heel. But like I said, I'm sure we'll talk more about Rhea later. But I mean, Rhea came in and I was desperately hoping that she wasn't going to do that because she was home in Australia. That she wasn't going to play the like sort of, oh my God, I can hardly contain it. I think I'm probably going to cry like that. And she came out and she owned it.
All guns blazing.
Screaming with her tongue out, eyes wide, like owning the stadium back home in Australia. Not like, thank you guys, I can't believe it. All my, home country crowd here to support me. Like, it was like, I'm here because I'm a star.
I think that it's just a balancing act. I think the emotion is good and important sometimes. And I think like when Naomi came back, and I remember tweeting about it at the time, she returned in the Rumble, and it was a beautiful moment because the fans were going mad, and she really genuinely looked overwhelmed and excited, and had tears in her eyes. And it's lovely to see that, and you feel like you get to know the real person. But you're right, they're going in there to fight.
Yeah.
If you know you're going somewhere to have a fight, so it's just about that balance. But yeah, I think it's almost like sometimes WWE are afraid to show these women as badass, no, not nasty, but you know.
Well, just badass women, which is ironic because the most over woman in the world is Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
But they're trying to create these sort of friendly babyface characters. Like you can still be a babyface and be badass.
So on this point, this is a good segue into Bianca Belair. So she was the final competitor that came out. I've put in capital letters here on my notes, different level. And the best in this match by some way.
Yeah.
So smooth, so impressive. And we know how good she is. But the reality is her character that she portrays on TV and in the ring just doesn't do justice to her supreme in-ring work.
Right.
Like, she is so good, but I think character-wise, like everyone, calls her the John Cena, the female John Cena. And she's like, she's the EST and you can't have WrestleMania without EST. And she's got all these catchphrases. But who is she? I feel like she's so good in the ring, and she really stood out to me as being just, well, as I say, on a different level to everyone else in reality in terms of her in-ring work. But I think character-wise, there's some way to go with Bianca Belair.
Interesting. Like I don't necessarily feel that. I that didn't occur to me with Bianca. I feel like I know sort of. I get a sense of who she is, and I feel that she's quite confident, and she's a babyface that's not getting over sentimental all the time. I think she's pretty decent on the mic. Like I don't know. I think her identity's quite strong. I was honestly watching this match. I knew Becky was going to win, but I was hoping Bianca was going to win.
Right.
I would rather see Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania than Rhea versus
Really?
Becky. Yeah, 100%.
But I think, character-wise, Rhea, who, as you said, the most over female talent, closely followed by, if not slightly more so, the man Becky Lynch. That's the biggest women's match they could book at WrestleMania. And it's been such a build-up as well. People have been clambering for 2 years.
I might have to be controversial now.
Oh, God. Go on.
And this is nothing against her.
Here we go.
I actually,
Kev's hot take.
No, I'm going to prefix this with, I actually think she's wicked. And when I've got a little daughter, Minnie, who has orange hair, and I'm like, I put her in front of the telly watching wrestling, and I call it Project Becky because I want her to be like Becky one day.
Yeah.
Right. So
okay.
I look up to Becky, and I want my daughter to be a wrestler, and I want her to watch Becky.
You actually want Minnie to be a wrestler?
Oh, I'd love it. It would be so cool.
It's a dangerous game.
It is, but it'd be so cool.
Why don't you love your daughter?
And we get free tickets.
I mean, we get free tickets already, Kev. Go on.
But I think a few years ago, Becky had an amazing moment where she was like really over, and all anybody was chanting was Becky. I think she's lost a lot of momentum.
Okay.
I don't think she's in the same place that she was a few years ago. I think we talk about things like in-ring, just sometimes things go wrong. Obviously, she's brilliant. We're talking minor details, right? But I just feel they're going to have to tell me a really good story for me to get totally invested in wanting her to beat Rhea. Because essentially, Rhea's supposed to be the heel and Becky's supposed to be the babyface. Yeah. I think we're going to get to Mania, especially after this Elimination Chamber where they were the main event. She dominated. Rhea looked like an absolute star, like top level star of WWE now. Yeah. And especially without Charlotte there, like Rhea has taken on that position now of like the top woman there. Everyone was cheering for her. I think even people were cheering for her before Australia. Her, in terms of her being a heel, the Judgment Day boys not liking R-Truth is not enough of a reason for me to dislike Rhea. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love R-Truth and everything, but like Dominic not liking R-Truth is not a reason for me to hate Rhea. Yeah. So she's going to have to do something pretty despicable. I just get the feeling, and I know we talk about everybody loving Becky, but in that Elimination Chamber, everyone was cheering for Tiffany Stratton, who's you're telling me has just had a big feud with Becky, and everyone was cheering Tiffany. So I was hoping Bianca was going to win. I can already sort of hear the promos we're going to get from Becky leading in, how she's done, she misses her daughter and she's got to prove herself, and I remember her saying how I know this is all storyline, so it's not necessarily her fault, but like the storyline was, about what Nia did to her. I need to take revenge on you and da-da-da-da. And then Nia beat her up and beat her. And Rhea's just beaten Nia.
Yeah.
So for me to be like, Becky is the one that can beat Rhea, because Rhea's so dominant, she's almost Roman, you know. Like, Becky's the one. I don't feel that at the moment. They're going to have to tell me a good story going in, and I don't think we can quite rest on how over she was a few years ago as the man, because now people are cheering Tiffany Stratton and they're cheering Rhea.
Yeah.
And that's who she's going in the ring with.
They definitely can't rely on what they've relied on before. However, what I would say is in a promo, and it was a good few weeks ago now, but Becky said to Rhea, I think you might be better than me.
And I think
Which okay, you agree with. But I thought that was a lovely way.
Moment.
I thought that was a lovely way to set this up.
Yes.
Because it's like, this is a real challenge. You know, it's not Becky being the man, the confident one. It's actually being vulnerable and going, I think you could beat me. I think you might be the best.
Yeah. I hope they prove me wrong.
Yeah.
And like I say, I love Becky. I think she's wicked. Just storyline wise, or I don't know exactly what it is. Something with me is not connecting to that at the moment.
Yeah.
I think Rhea's amazing. Like, you know, I think Charlotte Flair is one of the greatest of all time, men or women.
I
think she's amazing. With her out, I think Rhea is the one that I'm most invested in. And then second would be Bianca. Tiffany Stratton, I'm excited to see what happens next. Becky's sort of a bit further down on the list right now. You know, a few years ago, it was all Becky. But right now, it feels like they're going to have to tell me a good story, I think. Right now, I'm not that excited about this match. And certainly, if it happened tomorrow, I wouldn't be wanting Becky to take the title.
I'd agree with that. Okay, so back to this match. So there was a brilliant seated senton from Liv from the top of the pod onto Rodriguez, who was lying across the ropes. I thought that was a really cool spot. This led to Tiffany hitting a picture-perfect swanton from the top of the pod onto the whole field of competitors onto the outside. Tiff was then eliminated by Liv, to a course of boos from the crowd, followed by Raquel, who was taken out by Bianca Belair's KOD. Then there was a nice 5 minutes of action between Bianca, Liv, and Becky. Liv eliminates Belair, somewhat surprisingly, actually. You know, Liv was booked to look strong here. And then seconds later, Becky takes out Liv and punches her ticket to Mania. So right now, you're not incredibly excited about Becky and Rhea.
I felt like
but
they told us
you could get there if the story's good.
Yeah, and I felt like they told us that Becky was going to win about a month ago.
Yes,
like we already sort of knew she was going to win, and then she did. Yeah, and there were more exciting women in there at the moment. Like I was more excited about Tiffany. I was more excited about Bianca. I always think Bianca's brilliant. I think Liv's on a roll at the moment. There's something about Liv that feels pretty cool. So, you know, but it was like, but Becky's going to win, you know. So it felt like that to me.
So here's a question about the women's Elimination Chamber match. I liked it. I thought it was solid. If I said to you, was it the best women's Elimination Chamber match ever? What would you say?
I'd say I'd have to think of what the other ones were.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've written here, who knows?
Yeah.
And herein lies the slight problem I have with this match.
Right.
And my slight problem with a lot of these kind of matches in general. Within this match, there were no stories running through it other than I want to go to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I want to be the women's world champion. No blood feuds, no real personal animosity between anyone. All these Elimination Chamber matches, for me, just merge into one. Because the matches themselves are really missing a personality. And that's not to say there aren't great personalities within the match, but the match itself is missing a great personality. If you think about War Games, and I don't think War Games is as guilty as Elimination Chamber, because I think we've seen some great storyline threads running through War Games matches in the past. But I think generally it can suffer from the same sort of thing, this themed match. But if you think about the War Games match, particularly the Bloodline story in 2022, when Sammy, you know, kicked KO in the balls and really aligned himself with the Bloodline.
Yeah.
How much of a difference did that storyline make to that match, and how invested were the fans into that match. And I understand you have to have these matches where, you know, we need to find out who the number one contender is for the world title, and that's what it's all about, and that's really crucial.
Yeah.
Have a drink. But I just think the lack of stories here really make these matches just not as memorable as I think they should be. How much better would this match have been if there was a few narratives playing into it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we always say, isn't it? Story is
story.
So important
Yes.
to all of it. Otherwise, none of it matters. And okay, maybe controversial, but otherwise it becomes a bit AEW.
Yep.
You know, AEW, you can't fault a lot of the, you know, ring work that so many of the talent, there's some amazing talent there doing some great things within the ring.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just, here's indie wrestler number 5 versus Japanese wrestler number 7 doing some incredible mat wrestling. And it's like, okay, fine. They're brilliant. They're brilliant. They're doing stuff that I could never dream of doing.
Yeah.
And how a lot of wrestlers could never dream of doing. But it doesn't mean anything. Like, it has to mean something. And I suppose with Becky, like, her story has been with Nia and with Rhea, and none of them were in there. Bianca, what's her story been lately?
This is the thing, there's nothing much to attach to. I think these kind of matches, they need to have personal, not just professional implications. That's my point about these matches. They've got to weave more narrative into this to make me care, because I was like, feel like I've seen this all before. Feels like every previous Elimination Chamber match I've seen on the women's side.
Felt like we just had to get to Becky going to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And that was the point of it.
Yeah. Anyway, so
they're still all great. But, I mean, but I know what you mean.
Very, very solid. Very solid, but it's just not a match that I found particularly memorable.
I come out of it thinking my sort of number one thought coming out of that match is, I can't wait to see what they do with Tiffany Stratton now.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the one real positive of this, and I tweeted about it over the weekend, you know, so over, down under. Let's hope it continues, because this momentum is great. And that was my takeaway from the match, and clearly yours as well.
Yeah.
One thing I really loved.
If data management is slowing down your business, you need the Intuit ERP. If one entity is here, and one here, and one here, and one here, you need the Intuit ERP. If scaling your business feels like starting over, you need the Intuit ERP. Intuit Enterprise Suite is the AI-native ERP solution that consolidates, migrates, and automates, all in one place. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
Walmart Business saves you time, money, and hassle, which means you can focus on what really matters, like putting the money you save back into what you do, spending more time training your team, filling orders, and finding new clients. Anything and everything, right down to, oh, that's the one, choosing the best hold music. Walmart Business. It's the Walmart you love, now for your business. Learn more at business.walmart.com.
New Catch Republic.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a moment with this one, seeing Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate come out for the second match of the night. What a journey for these two.
Yeah.
Right. Neither of them have the sort of stature or perhaps OTT personality often, you know, required in WWE to be a big star. But here they come. These two best mates in the world into a massive stadium in Perth, to a big pop, I might add, for a tag team title match. I've got goosebumps thinking about it. I felt so happy for them, and this would not have happened. They would not be in this position under Vince's vision.
Yeah, true. I really wanted him to win. I was thinking that maybe it could happen as well. I know that we said prediction wise it was going to be Judgment Day, and it'll probably be Awesome Truth, you know, that at Mania. But I was thinking, I don't know, what if they're deciding to go somewhere with Priest, so they need to get the belts off them? Like, this could be a moment for them. Like, it could start something new with the tag team division.
But I really thought it really was a moment for them. Like, Michael Cole was talking about the history of professional wrestling. He was talking about Tyler Bate. Cole just using the words, and I know it's happened a lot more so under, you know, Trips's vision. But them just saying professional wrestling
know,
instead of
it's
sports
wicked,
entertainment.
yeah.
But him, Cole talking about that while seeing Tyler Bate flying around there with someone like Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And there was an energy within Finn Balor. I
Yeah.
could tell he loved being in there with
Yeah,
Tyler
yeah.
And Pete Dunne. It warmed my heart. They were saying, we haven't even scratched the surface with Tyler Bate. They were talking about how he wrestled in the Royal Albert Hall as a young performer.
Yeah.
We were there when he did that. Cole and Graves on commentary really pushed the positives of Tyler Bate, which are just seeing the position that Dunne and Bate are in. It is really, really nice.
And we've gone back to Pete Dunne now, right? He's not Butch anymore.
No, Pete Dunne, yeah.
Yeah. I think
Which is also brilliant.
Yeah, I want to see more of them. I'd like to see what they can do with this tag team and build some more stuff around them.
And Dom, I just love him.
Yeah.
Tries to come out and do some mic work, gets absolutely obliterated by the crowd, boos him out of the building.
But he loves it, doesn't he?
He was then he was then later slapped with a course of Dom is a wanker from the crowd. And then he was later sent to the back by the ref for I think he put Finn's foot under the rope to save a count. He's just so good.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And it's the way he's got this, like, when they're all booing him and like even when he's just walking around the ring, he's got this brilliant way of just looking out to the crowd and giving them this smile. He's got a brilliant look on his face that you just want to slap him.
He's so smug.
Yeah, he's so smug, and you can tell that he loves it, and that he's onto something. So I was thinking, right, you know about your crazy take from last week about
I don't think it was crazy at all.
Okay.
Okay, and let me just clarify this,
Go
right?
on,
Because
go on.
I've received some hate on social media. I was joking about him being better than Brett.
Yeah,
obviously.
I know.
I very clearly said Brett was one of my favorites, if not my favorite of all time.
Yeah.
My point was, if he carries on down this path for the next 5 years, he is in that conversation, and I stick by it.
Okay.
Go on.
But Matt Davis Adams made me laugh on Twitter when he said...
Former GP brother?
Yeah, when he said, this from the man that boldly claimed Fandango is the new CM Punk.
Which, I think...
To which I thought, he's absolutely right.
Right, okay, and here is where I will defend myself. That was, it was years ago now, but that was based on seeing Fandango in some cool kind of behind-the-scenes vignette, and I think maybe he was getting a tattoo or something, but he looked so cool... And he's got a great physique. We know Fandango's got a great personality. Yeah. The fact that he was then booked by creative to do nothing, wildly
unlike
positive.
CM Punk.
Yeah.
Can we just reel off the list of opportunities that Punk had in WWE again? Or?
No. But you can't compare Punk to what Fandango was given creatively.
Exactly. Fandango had nowhere near the push that CM Punk ever had. A lot of people never had CM Punk's push.
Yeah, right. But we're not talking about Punk. We're talking about Fandango.
I know the narrative is that CM Punk never got pushed enough, but loads of wrestlers would dream of Punk's push.
Okay, I'll give you this. If Fandango was in WWE now and being given the opportunities that Punk has been given,
that's you're
he
saying
could be on the level of Punk.
Sort of a B+ player.
You are having a laugh
I'm absolutely
saying
not.
that to me.
I stand by it. But anyway.
You think Punk is a B+ player?
Which is really good. I think when you're talking about the A players, right? And this is where we're going to get the Logan Paul comment. Why me and Mex laughed so hard at the point of when you said it is because
you don't know what you're talking about.
As we're looking at you, just over your shoulder here in the studio is the 2K24 poster.
And what a beautiful poster
And I'm
it is.
looking directly at Andre, Stone Cold, Hogan, Cena, Taker, Rock, Triple H, Bret Hart, Roman Reigns, Shawn Michaels.
And shall I tell you what
and Logan Paul is potentially the greatest of all time.
Shall I tell you what all of those men you've just rattled off have in common?
Nothing to do with Logan Paul.
None of them are as good as Logan Paul.
Oh my God.
I'm joking. Right, come on. Let's not get into this. You've got an audition to go to.
Yeah, but my point being, like, how do you square that against someone like Dom? Dom being a relatively new addition. He's a young, Ray's son. He's come in, he had a few matches, and he's now getting the biggest reaction within the arenas in terms of, all he has to do is put the mic to his mouth.
Yeah.
And it's an almighty noise, as much noise as the cheering for someone else.
That's become his gimmick. But
yeah. but he's had that ability to do it.
Yep.
You know, to get to that point where he gets that kind of reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
And the matches he's had bursting onto the scene, do you put Dom in that same category of, on this trajectory, he becomes greatest of all time?
I sort of one of the greatest, I said.
Yeah.
I sort of do. I think with those performers, they have something special, right?
Yeah.
They have this sort of innate ability to draw heat from a crowd, to wrestle incredibly well, understand the psychology of the game, really understand the art form of what WWE is. So yeah, I would sort of say the same with Dom. If he continues how he is, like Dom there are some talents you look at and you can go, they're great, they're really talented, they're probably only going to be mid-card level, right?
Whereas, where's the ceiling?
Whereas Dom, you can imagine being a world champion.
Yes.
Might not be for a few years, but you can imagine him headlining pay-per-views. He's got great character. He's, it's in his blood, isn't it?
Yeah. Interesting. So do you like, we're creating a little sort of future GOATs
which I think is a great, and that should be something that GP champions. Let's talk about the future GOATs of the business.
Can you see Logan Paul one day being WWE champion?
Without a doubt.
Interesting. Wow.
If you can't, you don't understand this business.
No, I agree.
Okay.
I think he could be. I don't know about one of the greatest of all time. How old is he?
You'll get there. Oh, he's young.
Is he?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a great question, actually.
Like, is he 29 or is he 21? Do you know what I mean?
Producer Ben,
that makes a difference.
Can you find out how old Logan Paul is? 28.
28. How old's Dom Mysterio? Or Nick Mysterio, for that matter.
Both of them. By the way, can we just give applause to R-Truth? He went to Austria. Well done, R-Truth.
Amazing.
Absolutely splendid work.
Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely splendid work.
Where is everybody?
So back to this tag match.
Yes.
Judgment Day retain in a great... How old is Dom Mysterio? 26.
Oh, interesting.
These are the new GOATs.
Yeah.
They're the new GOATs.
Okay.
The GOATs for the new era.
Okay.
So Judgment Day retain in a great match. And it was a match that worked hard to make both partnerships look fantastic. Great showing from Dunn and Bate, but a match that made Priest and Balor look really strong and dominant, and most importantly, tough and resilient. Like seeing Damien kick out of I don't know what it was, but did they hit like the double Tyler driver or something on him and he kicked out at the last minute? It made Damien Priest look really strong. And I just thought it was super work from all four of them, and the crowd were invested throughout.
Yeah.
And honestly, sort of the highlight of the pay-per-view, I thought I've written it down here. This is great pro wrestling.
Yeah, it was. It was
really loved it.
Yeah, it was a really good match, and sort of for those kind of fans that are like, oh, WWE's not real wrestling like AEW. It's like, well, no, they can do that too. You know, like the thing that you're into. Like, there's something for everyone on WWE.
But there was nothing wildly over the top.
No,
there were no 980-degree flips. It was just, it all felt very dynamic and athletic and fast-paced and hard-hitting, but it also felt like a real fight.
And you forget how good Finn is as well.
Ugh.
Like, he's a really good wrestler. And
he's one of the greatest of all time.
And I can see Priest as a future world champ. Like, I can see it. I'd love to see him cash in, maybe at Mania. Or Raw after.
Time is ticking.
Yeah.
Time is ticking.
Yeah. Yeah, they look strong.
So, we're in Perth, Australia. Grayson Waller. The Grayson Waller Effect. They had a talk show segment. Him and Austin Theory came out and then introduced us to Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Now, I thought this was a bit of a meh segment. I felt like they put this together because they wanted Seth and Cody
on the show,
yeah. and obviously Grayson Waller being hometown boy.
Yeah.
But there was nothing really of significance here other than Cody
calling out The Rock
and challenging him. But even that was a anytime, anywhere, mildly vague.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying, I'm main eventing with Roman night 2 of Mania, night 1, Rock, I want you. So they didn't even go into those specifics. Seth then said, this is not a fight you should do alone.
Yes.
I'm with you. So that makes me think
We're going to get the tag.
we're going to get the tag match.
Yeah, that's what I thought as it happened.
So maybe the first step. But one thing I did say, and this was our problem with the Cody Rock situation on last week's GP. If you haven't listened to it, go back into the GP feed and listen to Wednesday's show. So many good takes in Wednesday's show.
Yeah.
But we had a problem with the fact that we still don't know how that conversation went backstage. What did Rock say to Cody to make Cody step aside in the first place?
Yes.
Tit.
Pardon?
And what I mean by tit, and we should say it a lot, it stands for trust in trips.
Okay.
Okay?
You said it so seriously.
Well, I mean it.
Tit.
But
It's quite seductive.
especially when you're dressed like that. But this is a phrase I think we should adopt because Trips hasn't forgotten. He knows we need that explained away.
Yeah.
You know, our issue was like, we need to know how that conversation went. What did Rock say to Cody to make him step aside? In Trips, we trust.
Yeah. The fact that Cody sort of made like he was going to explain it to us, didn't he? He sort of said, you know, I've
Sorry, I've got the giggle. Go on.
Cody sort of went to say, you know, we had a conversation. Tit. It means that they've had a conversation about it backstage. Like, obviously, it's going to happen because you can see they've had a conversation about it. You're a tit.
Oh, God. Coffee just came out my nose. I've got Kenko coming out my nose. Right, sorry, go on. Come on. We can do this. We can do this.
I was just saying the fact that Cody sort of mentioned it.
Yeah.
Like, and almost made to say what he was thinking. He's gone. He's absolutely lost it.
It's just your face. Oh, sorry. This is terrible audio. Terrible audio. Right, go on. Come on.
We're very professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like we're going to get it because Cody mentioned it. So we're going to get it at some point.
Yeah.
So, yes, trust in Trips, or otherwise known as
Tit. Okay. So, overall, I was slightly underwhelmed. Oh, God, this is all going horribly wrong. This is what you get for listening to a Monday show, folks. Yeah, I overall, I was like, I know it's stepping stones. You know, trust in Trips. We know the story beats are there. We know they've got to tell the story over the course of, you know, the next few weeks. It's not like WrestleMania is next week. So there is time to tell this story. Baby steps. But I just felt for it's such a big stadium, such a big show. I felt like it was going to be a bit more dramatic, and then it just ended with them all having a bit of a laugh, and then Seth hitting,
which you could
Austin,
see. You could see
Austin
all that
Theory
coming.
with the one. However, this really made me laugh. Austin Theory was basically making fun of The Rock, and he was doing the "if you smell," and as he was doing it, Seth grabbed him to throw him into the Grayson Waller effect sign, but he kept the mic and he kept the smell going. So he went, "If you smell," absolutely incredible. I love that.
I actually really rate Austin Theory.
I think he's
really talented.
Brilliant.
I think he's good on the mic. He's got a good look. I think we're putting him in that future GOAT pile.
Yeah, very possibly.
Yeah, I can see him as a future world champion at least.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Vince, for all of Vince's horrendous decisions, and just talking about the product and creatively, him championing Austin Theory, it did make sense to me because he's definitely got it all.
And I think like WWE really on the whole is so strong at the moment.
Yeah.
Like if you think of what's happening in this build up to WrestleMania and all the stories we've been talking about, but also even the ones that aren't as involved, but like the younger ones coming through, like it's a healthy roster coming through. Like the future looks really good. The ones we're talking about at the moment, you know, like Dom, Austin Theory, you know, Grayson Waller, who knows what his ceiling is. Logan Paul, obviously, we've said. Yeah, Tiffany Stratton coming through now.
Oh, it's unbelievable. But I think, as you say, WWE has been so good. You sort of expect it all to be fire. So then, when a big segment with such big names, with such big Mania implications, occurs on a big show like this in a stadium, you think, oh man, like I was clamoring for this. I thought it was going to be really exciting, and it was just I just felt a bit flat at the end of it.
Yeah, like you say, they wanted their big guns on the show.
Yeah,
Grayson Waller, it was a good excuse to have his segment, the Grayson Waller effect because he's Australian. It all sort of made sense.
It did. So did the main event make sense? Sorry, not the main event, the men's chamber match. This was penultimate match. Logan Paul and Kevin Owens' beef was sort of the overriding story during the entrances. Kevin Owens reacting brilliantly when he sees Logan Paul making his entrance. Logan Paul in the pod with a Sharpie, drawing the horns and writing graffiti over the glass.
I love that Kevin Owens was stood right outside it waiting for him to come out when it was Logan Paul's turn to come out. He was stood there like, come on. That was excellent.
I thought it was really good. So LA Knight and Drew McIntyre start things off. Kevin Owens is next, followed by Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton, then Logan Paul, who tussled with KO in really vicious fashion. Great heat, great chemistry between these two. I thought, I was assuming, and I think I predicted it on Wednesday's show, I was presuming we'd be seeing KO and Logan Paul heading to WrestleMania for a US title match. We'll talk about the end of the match in a moment. It looks like they're going in a different direction. But what did you think of this match? What was your takeaway?
I really liked it. Like it's interesting what you were saying about the women's match and the lack of sort of story that was going on within it. I thought that was the opposite in this match. I thought there's, obviously you had the KO and Logan stuff that we just talked about, but also there was what I really liked with the Logan stuff was obviously they sort of push him as this, future GOAT, as he's the US champion and all of this. They're pushing him as this big star and whatever they're going to do with him at Mania, which it looks like we know now. But they also made a bit of sense that when he was in there, it felt like, oh well, now you're in with the big boys. You've won you've come up, you've made an impact, you've won the US title, but this is the world title picture right here. These are the top boys, and as soon as he came out, he was getting thrown around, and it kind of made sense. It made sense that yes, he's brilliant, but when you're going to mix it in there with people like Lashley, even KO beat the hell out of him, then Lashley speared him right through the into the pod, and everyone was going, "Thank you, Lashley,"
which was brilliant. What a great moment that was.
I loved that they were able to use him as this sort of punching bag a little bit, because it was like they all hate him, and also, who the hell are you to be in this match with us? I love that. And
it's so interesting that you say that, because when I sort of saw him in there with Randy Orton, I was like, wow, Logan Paul's in there with Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And that role that Logan plays and played in this match makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, did Randy get hurt, or was he just brilliant at selling?
Such is the greatness of Randy Orton. The way he sold his back, and I do think it was a sell job, added so much drama to this.
Yeah.
You genuinely felt his pain.
Yeah.
It's like Shawn Michaels back in the day. You could feel it.
It looked like he was in trouble in the match. And it was when he went down on the outside of the ropes, like that, which is supposed to be the hard bit, which sometimes at the moment doesn't look as hard as I feel like it used to.
It's a bit padded now.
Yeah. Which, fine. But he went down on the edge of the chamber, and it looked like, oh my God, you do not want to be doing that. He's just taken himself out of the match. That's how dangerous the chamber is. So if it was all a sell, that's just excellent.
Well, I think that's his MO. He sells so well, he makes everything matter. Yeah. Just like Shawn did back in the day, he makes everything matter. He doesn't need to do too much in the ring. He's that much of a veteran. He can... So, I mean, when I say play it safe, I mean it in the best possible way.
Yeah.
Because he makes everything matter.
Yeah.
And mean something.
Yeah.
I totally bought into that injury. And the commentators sold it incredibly well. You legitimately thought he was hurt. Other than the ref coming in and doing the X, you thought he was hurt. And that added so much drama and so much emotion into the match.
And also because he's had a long-term injury. Like that.
Yes, exactly.
It makes sense that
Perfect.
might happen. As good as he is, like he might get hurt in there because of and we've seen it happen to Punk. He was out, for a while. So like, it makes sense that might happen. Just added to the story, and that's what I'm saying. It gives, even if it's just a minor storyline within the match, it suddenly gives you something to latch onto within the match. Like, oh my god, Randy's not going to survive this. Yeah. KO and Logan are going to beat the hell out of each other. Logan's being used as a punching bag. There's so much going on there, and Drew's the one that we think is gonna go and win it. Then we got some individual attacks that I'm sure we'll talk about leading to Mania.
Yeah.
There was all these little mini storylines going on all of a sudden. It's sort of the opposite.
And how much of a difference did it make?
Yeah, totally.
So Lashley was eliminated by Claymore from Drew.
Yeah.
LA Knight was then taken out by AJ Styles. So AJ came in through the door. I don't think the cameras picked it up, but the commentators explained it. AJ came in as Lashley was being let out. Yeah. And he attacked LA Knight viciously with a chair. He got a girl called Claire and battered him. And
with a tick.
Come on, that's too much. And then hit a Styles Clash on the chair. So this is AJ turning full heel. Yeah. Out for revenge for being, taken out of the elimination match in the qualifying rounds by LA Knight. So LA Knight, AJ Styles Mania, excited? Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I love them both.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, I think they're both brilliant. I'm glad AJ's gone heel, actually. Because I think he's wicked, but sometimes when he's a babyface, he can get lost amongst other baby faces a little bit, just in terms of story. I don't know. So heel will probably be better. Everyone wants to cheer LA Knight anyway. So yeah, I'm sure they'll tell a good story going in. We've got time before Mania.
Yeah, I was quite excited to see that side of AJ. But yeah, quite surprised. I think a lot of people had predicted that it was going to be Logan Paul, who, by the way, whenever he appeared on camera, which obviously was then fed to the big screens of the stadium, the crowd just booed whenever he appeared, which I loved. And getting that kind of rise out of the crowd is a great thing. So I think we all predicted, or some people predicted Logan, LA Knight. To me, AJ, LA Knight feels like a better fit. I think it, I don't know. I was going to say it gives LA Knight a bigger opportunity to be a monster babyface going up against, a vile heel in AJ. But I don't know.
Although Logan Paul's such a heel.
Maybe Logan would have been better creatively.
I don't know. It depends what they do, storyline. Because the only thing is, obviously, it looks like it's going to be Logan Paul and Randy.
Yeah.
Potentially. And which, that feels like a big fight feel. Just the idea of Randy going for the US title is slightly strange. Because he's such, he's how many times is he world champ now? It's going for the US title, something like that. So going for the US title feels slightly odd, unless they take it off Logan before Mania. But
because of the ongoing beef with KO, is it KO taking it off Logan? Does Randy cost Logan the US title? Yeah. And it then goes to KO, and
versus...
then who would KO defend the US title against in Mania? Sammy? Just best friends having a match?
Yeah.
Don't know. Anyway, but yeah, KO was taken out of the match, RKO'd out of there by Randy Orton. I loved the elimination of Logan. He had the brass knucks in hand, ready to deliver a punch, only to be taken out by a proper RKO out of nowhere, which he took like an absolute champ.
Yeah,
by the
it was
way.
great.
An absolute champ.
Yeah.
And then this would play into the end of the match, Logan costing Randy the match with the brass knucks shot, and then Drew crawls over.
And again, Randy's selling of that brass knucks shot. It just looked like
wiped him out.
Bang! And it looked like he just lost consciousness on his way down.
Yeah.
And sort of collapsed in a heap. It was fantastic.
And that gave Drew the win. And Drew punched his ticket to Mania. So do we think it's going to be 1-on-1 versus Seth?
I think so.
I'm hoping...
that Sammy gets it.
Sammy's...
It's looking less likely.
One of my favourites. I think it is looking less likely, perhaps. And I know they're already promoting the fact that it's Drew versus Seth. But to me, they've already had a big match. I think it was a Crown Jewel towards the end of last year. Again, I think it comes, let's see how it plays out. It all comes down to story.
Yeah.
Like, what's the angle here? I feel like I've seen it before.
But I just think Drew is so brilliant right now. Like, he's
He
just
is,
on
yeah, he's great.
such a roll. Like, he's on fire.
Yeah.
Like, and he's really sort of, he's really taken this opportunity. Like, obviously it was meant to be, we assume it was meant to be Punk versus Seth.
Yes.
And now this opportunity has opened up. It just feels like he is taking the ball by the horns and running with it.
Yeah.
Like,
and you've got to seize those opportunities.
yeah, I felt like it had to be Drew, really.
Yeah.
And I'm pleased. And there's a part of me, I love Seth Rollins. Like, he's probably my favorite wrestler at the moment. I'm not sure.
It's so funny you say that. I got a text from an old school friend over the weekend. Bruff,
Yeah.
shout out to Bruff. He texted me, went, I think Kevin Clifton likes Seth Rollins, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. I just think he's brilliant. But there's part of me, maybe it's the British thing and the fact that, the ovation that he got at Clash of the Castle and all of that. And his story of what he's gone through, outside of the ring and then coming back again and, what his mum meant to him and all of that stuff with Drew. And then he finally got his moment where he was in front of nobody at Mania.
Yeah.
And then with the story, like the number of times he got screwed out of sort of beating Roman by the bloodline, then when Jay was coming back, the story is Drew's going, why should I just trust Jey Uso? He's caused me nothing but damage and pain. Like, why should I be Jey Uso's mate at the moment? And all of that makes sense, even though he's being a heel and we want to cheer Jey Uso and all of that gang. Like,
He believes in everything he's saying.
yeah, everything he's doing makes sense. So even as much as I love Seth Rollins, there's part of me wants to see Drew win actually at Mania.
Yeah. I get that.
Maybe I said this idea before, maybe the story is that he wins and then the cash-in happens, so he still loses his big moment, and it just feeds into him going more and more nuts about the whole thing.
I quite like that.
But yeah, I kind of want to see Drew win the title at Mania.
Yeah. Well, there's some nice creative possibilities there. So let's see how it plays out. And then the main event, and I have to say I was really pleased this was the main event.
Yeah.
I was expecting the men's chamber match to main event this show, but hometown girl, the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, returns to Australia. When she first came out, I was like, that crowd pop wasn't as huge as I expected it to be. However, they are in a stadium, an open top stadium, so we know the sound travels out the big hole in the roof. But then during the announcements and during the match, it was wonderful and it was so special and you could see the emotion. However, as you rightly said earlier, Rhea still came out in character.
Yeah.
Yes, she was draping herself in the Australian flag and she was tapping a few hands and things like that. But and her family are all in the first row. But she was still Rhea Ripley. I feel like she got that balance really well.
And that's the difference. Is like even when she went to her family, it wasn't like she didn't do a big hug and start crying because what a special moment. Yeah. Which I think a lot of people might have done.
Yeah.
Here's my family in my home country. I'm the main event. Look at what I've achieved here.
Yeah.
It was still, she went over to them, gave him a hug, sat on the rail, and just was eyes wide open, tongue out, screaming, like title in the air.
Yeah.
She just loved it and was
She
owning
maintained
it,
that aura, didn't she?
owning it like a star,
Yeah.
rather than letting it kind of get the better of her and be all kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. It was very much like, I deserve to be here because I'm the best.
Well, she does, and I think, she is. She's certainly in that conversation.
Yeah.
What I love about these hometown shows, because the WWE don't do hometown shows like they used to. In Vince's era, more often than not all the time, but more often than not, he would try and embarrass the hometown hero. And they'd often lose, they'd often get screwed, whatever it was.
Yeah.
However, I feel like the hometown shows that Trips do really elevate talents to new levels. It happened last year at Elimination Chamber, funnily enough, but it was Sami Zayn in Montreal. I was there, one of the most incredible live WWE experiences of all time. But because of that night, because of that feud, because of that match with Roman, yes, he lost, but off the back of that, he then main evented night one of Mania. He was a bigger star coming out of Montreal.
Yeah.
Now, Rhea Ripley is a bigger star coming out of Perth. She had the pyro, she had the family, she main evented this stadium show.
Yeah.
The commentators were talking about Riot City Wrestling in Adelaide. She started training when she was 15. This is her first time back in Australia for 7 years. And think about how much she has changed. Like I was trying to think the first time I interviewed Rhea was in Blackpool. So I think it was January 2018. I think it was 2018 before one of the takeover shows. But thinking about her then, not very confident,
Amazing.
like so nice, super, super nice. She's lovely. She's hilarious, but not very confident, not hugely comfortable in her own skin.
Incredible.
Whereas now, just unbelievable. So for her to return home, and the match, I thought the match was really good. It was a fairly standard, hometown hero versus nasty big heel kind of a match. I didn't think there was anything particularly special about the main event, other than just the emotion from the crowd and giving Rhea that big, solid, decisive win.
And I actually thought Nia gets a lot of stick, right, from wrestling fans.
This is her best run.
Yeah, I actually think she's done pretty well here. Like, she's played the role well, and they've built her up to look a lot more of a threat than she ever has been.
Yeah.
It was always like, oh my God, Nia Jax is coming to the ring. And you're like, yeah, but she's going to lose. Like, everyone's going to beat her up. Everyone beats her up. But having her, beat Becky just recently, and then, she's been booked as like a monster heel.
Yeah.
And whilst I didn't think she was going to beat Rhea, obviously, still she played her part in that. But I do look at Rhea now as my sort of, like, with Charlotte out injured, Rhea is my favorite on the women's roster, but also like my favorite babyface on the women's roster. I look at her as a babyface now.
Interesting.
Like she doesn't feel like a heel at all, which is why I come back to my original point about Mania. If this match happens tomorrow, I'm cheering for Rhea over Becky. I've got no interest in Becky winning that match.
Yeah.
And nothing against her. Becky's obviously done some amazing things. It just doesn't feel like... I feel like originally the story would have been, she's this monster heel, Rhea, nobody can beat her. Is Becky the one that can do it? Because we all love her and we know what she's done before. But it doesn't feel that way to me now, like it would have done a few years ago.
But the thing is, I think Becky is someone who is so wise when it comes to this and how the fans react and stories. Like she really, I've talked to her about it before. She loves this.
Right.
And I feel like she's smart. So I think it's just going to be interesting to see how Mummy versus the man plays out.
Yeah.
Because I think we might see something different from Becky.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she'll lean into some heel tendencies, or I don't know, maybe they'll introduce a new element to the story somehow. I'm sure they'll tell us a good story, but it's going to have to happen for me to sort of be invested in, who's going to win this? Because at the moment, I just think I want Rhea to win. It wouldn't even bother me if it's a squash at the moment. You know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's not on them. I mean, storyline wise.
Yeah. Okay. Round of applause for Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Absolutely superb. Great showing in Perth, Australia. And it looked to have been a great week for WWE. Loads of press, talents all around the city doing stuff. They obviously did the partnership with Western Australia. I thought it was great, and I love seeing these shows outside the US. I really like it.
Yeah, I
really
do.
like.
I think it's really cool.
More.
I hope they do it. Yeah, more and more.
Well, we've got France coming up. We've got Bash in Berlin in August, I think.
Yeah. So
lots of things to be excited about. For no reason whatsoever, what would you rate Elimination Chamber out of 5 stars, Kev?
Out of 5 stars, 3. I suppose.
Yeah, I'd probably go 3.
Like, I thought it was good. I didn't, I didn't dislike it or anything.
No.
But if like the best WrestleManias are like a 5 star, this was probably
I'm going to go 2.5.
Okay.
Solid show.
Yeah, it did what it needed to do.
It did. Yes, it did. Okay. Yeah. Well, with that, we will leave you, Kev. Where can people find you on the soch?
At Kevy Clifton. Kevin without an N on the end. Otherwise, you're talking to an American estate agent.
Please hit up Kevin Clifton, the American estate agent. Give him all your predictions for Raw tonight. We'll see how he reacts.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can follow the show at WWE GP on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@WWEGP. Let's get us to 100,000 subscribers before WrestleMania, please. That would be great. Right. Kev, enjoy Monday Night Raw tonight.
Yep.
We'll get some more answers, I'm sure, as the road to WrestleMania continues. And we will be back on Wednesday for our normal Wednesday weekly, breaking down all the the hits and misses from WWE, especially tonight's Monday Night Raw. Right, thanks so much for listening. This has been a Starstruck Media production. We shall see you on Wednesday.
Gorilla position.
I'm a champion.